Hey, good evening and welcome to, of course, a point of view. I am your host, Lance Sami, and of course, taking you through these 55 minutes of nothing but the very best of stories that we have prepared for you this particular week. Remember that Point of View is a program that we get to review different happenings, excuse me, different things that have taken place during the week. And of course, we are talking about top stories and stories that have made headlines or screaming headlines. Those are the things that we get to look at on this particular program. And of course, it's good to know that you are with us this particular evening. I am not alone. Of course, I have my co-host with me, Chaza.
Good evening. How are you doing, Lance? It's a great time once more, and my
Hi,
pleasure
Chaza.
to
Good
be
evening.
with you. It's my pleasure to have you with me
Okay,
right here on.
we seem to have a little bit of some internet glitch right here or here and there. But however, I am doing fine, thank you. How are you this evening?
I'm doing pretty well, except for the internet glitches that we have presently. We believe that this one will be rectified as we go. It's a pleasure, really, to be with you once more on this program, Point of View. Okay, it's one of those usual challenges that we get to have as regards the internet, but we are still here, and tonight we'll be hosting Vincent Hamalwa, the person that will be helping us to look at the stories that have made news and or headlines this week. And we'll be looking at a couple of news bites. The clips will be played, and an analysis will be done. The views of the guest will actually be taken, and those people that will also join us on the show live in the studio will definitely get to express their views as regards the news that we have this week. Probably we can get to the first item that we have, and hoping by the end of the clip we may have Vincent and Lance back on the show. Mr. Producer, kindly get to run us to the first news item that we'll be looking at for analysis.
Their gigantic and vibrant steps showcase that the Lusaka Magistrate Court caught the attention of journalists and other court attendees by surprise. Court officials were not left out, as they too wondered what was going on. A chat with their leader, UPND Lusaka Province Youth Chairperson Anderson Banda, revealed that they were at the court to offer solidarity to the president, who in this case is alleged to have been defamed by opposition Patriotic Front Party spokesperson Raphael Nakachinda, who was appearing before Magistrate Jennifer Bwalia.
To start with, we are citizens of this republic, Zambia. Yes. Secondly, we are the supporters of our beloved president, His Excellency Mr. Hakainde Hichilema.
Yeah.
Yes. Thirdly, we are within the law to come and give solidarity to the president when there is a matter involving him.
Friday, 20th May 2022 was date set to hear Magistrate Bwalia's ruling on whether Nakachinda's application to have his case referred to the High Court for determination on whether it was fair trial in a defamation case for Nakachinda to be tried without the testimony of the person defamed, since President Hichilema has immunity against court proceedings. Magistrate Bwalia trusted the application and ruled that the trial continues in a court. Meanwhile, police officers were deployed at the court in fear that the cadres might be unruly, as they wanted to meet with Nakachinda and former Lusaka Province Minister Bowman Lusambo, who are both from the former ruling party, the Patriotic Front. However, Nakachinda feared for his life and was aided by the police through the tunnels into a police vehicle. Bowman Lusambo, who was also appearing before resident magistrate Fadis Hamahundu, was taken by police officers right through the tunnel to the hold cells, and police riot vehicles came to his rescue while his wife exited the magistrate court using the magistrate's exit route. When the matter came up for continuation of trial on Tuesday 24th of May 2022, defense lawyer in the matter in which Lusambo stands jointly charged with his wife Nancy raised two applications. Makebi Zulu asked the court to allow him to institute contempt proceedings against UPND youth leader Anderson Banda, alleging that contempt was done right in the face of the court and that the behavior by the UPND is intimidating and threatening to his client. He told the court that it is also disrespectful to the court as it is an intimidation to the judiciary. Zulu alleged further that the cadres wanted to beat up his clients and that his clients are not free before court as they fear that they will be dealt with by the cadres. He said this behavior of cadres has the potential to deny his clients fair trial and also that it is an attempt to interfere with the judiciary. Magistrate Hamahundu has ruled that an affidavit in support of the contempt proceedings be submitted on Thursday, 24th of May 2022, and the state to respond to the affidavit on Monday, 30th May 2022, while she will deliver a ruling on Friday, 3rd June 2022. On this day, she will also determine whether she will stay the main matter and deal with the contempt proceedings or trash the application and go on with the main matter. Whilst Funda S24 News.
Thank you so much for that news item, and I can see Lance is back right here. I'm not quite sure. Okay, I've also seen Vincent is also back there. The first item that we have seen what was going on. Mr. Anderson Banda, together with other UPND supporters, went to court as alluded in solidarity as regards the case that was ongoing, but it culminated to be an intimidation to the people that are in the cases that were ongoing at the courts. And also it is alluded that it was an intimidation to the judiciary. As it were, the UNDHR provides that there mustn't be any interference as regards the court proceedings. And this behavior has been seen to be contemptuous as regards the court proceedings. What is your viewpoint, Vincent, as regards this issue?
Okay, thank you very much, Chaza. Let me just first start by saying sorry for the for the lighting system. I'm actually in the western part of Zambia, Sioma to be specific. That's where I am right now. We came to give out some scholarships to deserving people here so that they can access higher education in support with the UPND government's manifesto where education is supposed to be accessed by everybody. So I'm in Sioma. And also I'm trying to check how the environment is. Now, coming back to the story, I'll tell you, yesterday I had an encounter as I went out in the field with one who was trying to misbehave, and I think I advised him properly. Let us not adopt the lifestyle that the PF had. I think the PF had such lifestyle, and what the president is trying to do is to run away from such, because that thing injured a lot of people. You get it? The politicians talk, they misbehave quite right, but it does not try to take certain things personal. Okay, it does debate on realistic issues that affect the people, and I always bring that out. Going to the court in as much as you're offering today to the president, going to the court in numbers. Why? What? For what now? I'm just trying to figure out for what. Certain things, if you have got issues that you have to raise them, talk about them, but not going to the courts.
it's more like you're trying to intimidate the judiciary. If you go back in history, if I ever made them, is it somewhere in 1988 or somewhere in 1989 when UNIP youths went to High Court grounds where they had to beat up some judges, and you know how that one ended. They lost. They lost the elections in 1991 because of the same behavior. You understand? So the one thing that's supposed to do is youths of a political party supposed to work hand in hand with certain departments of the government, not trying to intimidate. Don't intimidate. These people have been given a mandate to oversee certain issues of the country. But if you're going to be intimidating them, then at the end of the day, what are we going to achieve? You understand? So it's more like you're going back the same thing that the people got rid of. They got rid of the Patriotic Front because of violence, none of respect. We're not going to say because they were booted out from, it was because of lawlessness. Let the UPND youths learn something from there. Let them learn to say, there are rules and regulations they're supposed to set an example. Okay, let them not follow what the other team did. Not follow that. So let us stay in a right direction. Let the youths take easy. Politicians, they are going to try by all means, because the president gave this this issue where he said that he wants the rule of law to prevail. But if they are going to, politicians will talk so that they frustrate you. So that once you really say, the president said this, but look at what they are doing. Okay. So one thing that the youth have to understand is this: they have to be there and support the president's call. But if they don't do that, the people are going to have issues with them. They have to support that. They have to support the president's call. Let the rule of law take its place. It does not try to go back to the 80s, the 90s, or we go back to the time when the PF youths could go in offices and intimidate people. No. Civil servants were humiliated, this and this happened. It doesn't go back to that time. I know the provincial youth chairperson may have had something which was, he may have had enough of these politicians out in the president. But at the end of the day, we have got law enforcers. Let them take action. Let the courts take action and determine that. These are politics, and they come and go. But at the end of the day, don't ruin what you have already achieved. Keep it just the way it is. Thank you very much, Chaza.
All right, thank you so much. That is the viewpoint of our analyst as regards what happened at the courts, and he's saying it all starts like this. If the cadres, the supporters are tolerated in this manner, the end result will be bad, because as it were, the people voted out the PF because of barbaric behaviors by the cadres, and we are saying, let us see this to an end. Let us see the due process of the law, and let us respect the rule of law. At this point in time, ladies and gentlemen, I can see Lance is back. Lance, welcome back. It's unfortunate we've been losing you to connection challenges.
All right. Thank you so much. Though my internet hasn't stabled up yet. I'm hopeful that I am audible enough. Can you get me? Because I can't get you.
I can get you, except that you are quite faint. I can see connection there has again been lost. All right, for now, we can proceed to the next news item as we are looking at stories of the week. And remember that you are very welcome to join us via the link that you can see right on the show to give us your viewpoint regarding the news stories that we are looking at tonight. Let's go straight to the next item.
We can behave the way we are behaving with the opposition, the PA. We can behave such a way. Maybe we agree that I start by tomorrow. Let's agree. I'm telling now the opposition. When you're going to appear that I'm coming to court also with my team now. This I want to assure you now, so that you see that what we are doing was wrong. I'm telling you as a national news channel, I'll behave the way you're behaving also together with our team. We see now who is the champion. And I've told many times, I'm sorry I'm using this language. Police never defended the UPND. That's a fact. We won this election. We, the youths, were forefront. You, Nakachinda, and your team were sending those people to us, beating us, even killing us. You know that. It's your team. I'll send the
All right. Lance, welcome back. You can take up this story.
All right, Chaza, thank you so much. Thank you so much. And of course, we are looking at sentiments made by the national UPND National Youth Chairperson, daring the opposition to say, if you continue with this, perhaps we should also start behaving the same way that you were behaving when we were in the opposition, where we had police were not coming in for us. The police did not defend us. We were defending ourselves and everything. We were doing it on our own. But we have given you, the opposition, freedom, to go about your court proceedings and everything. But it's like you are daring us, and therefore maybe we should come through and get to do what you used to do to us. Of course, after this, that's where we saw the likes of Anderson Banda, going to the court's grounds, and they were there because they believed that every case which involves the president, because Nakashinda was appearing apparently for the case of defamation of the president, and they said we are giving solidarity to the president. If you were inside the courts, it was, I would tell you that for those of us that were inside the court chambers, it was all free. It was both UPND and PF youths or cadres in those chambers listening to the proceedings. But out, that's where an issue was, as we saw the council representing Nakashinda rising on the motion to say their client is feeling uncomfortable because there are some UPND youths outside the court premises making noise and all that. So we saw that disruption. And then after that, we also saw Liswani meeting up after a certain radio program at a certain named radio station, meeting up with Nakashinda. They bumped into each other, and they shared hugs and shared notes. This came after this statement coming through from the National Youth Chair. I don't know.
Perhaps the question that may arise is what exactly is supposed to be done? Is it the police that are supposed to curb such behavior, or do we need a statement from the president? Or how exactly do we create sanity as regards the court premises? Once again, Vincent.
Yeah, maybe just to come in, let me say the statement by the National Youth Chairperson was a wrong statement. And quite right, they're trying to defend the president. Quite right, they're trying to bring sanity. I still go back to my earlier statement. What made PF lose power was because, they never respected the rule of law. And I know the UPND government, it's a government which respects the law. And I think we have seen all people have been found wanting, have been arrested, have been taken to court. Yes, quite right, they went there to give solidarity. You know how it used to happen in PF. Where youths are, there's always havoc. Maybe the national chairperson youth thought it was quite all right to register their presence. But again, if I'm attending a a court, then I see multiple buses coming there, and I'll feel uncomfortable. You understand? I'll fear for my life. I may be in court. I'll fear for my life. You understand? So one thing that has happened is, there have been these. The UPN is trying so hard to remove lawlessness. Lawlessness is not any good in any way. I think I've said this. Also, the other side, I think the other team, let them realize one thing. Let us give checks and balances that are going to help the people. Don't be too personal. You don't have to be personal. Africa can only develop when you talk about real issues, not being personal. I'm a human being. I have got feelings. Let me just use that word. In as much as I continue to say, not just keep the rule of law, but if one doesn't want to keep that, then at the end of the day, I'm also going to say, okay, let me react. These people used to do this to us. Then who am I not to? I'll react, and once I react, it becomes something else. Then they'll be the first one to say, have you seen how the youths are behaving? I think let politicians grow up. Let me use that word. Let politicians grow up and understand to say the people are always there because of them. We are there to support them. But why is it that every now and then they want to take certain things personal? We are not looking at the issue that one is supposed to be personal, but you're looking at one thing. How are we going to help, or how are we going to develop the country together as a team? Now, the problem is this. You discover to say, sorry, Chaza, my light that I'm using has gone off. That's why I'm black now. I'll try to work on that. So
Okay.
what we have to look at is what does the UPND stand for? And let the youths of UPND, we know, let's not use emotions. The best way you can fight a battle where someone is trying to frustrate you is not to fight. Two wrongs can never make a right. As I said earlier on, the PF were booted out of power because of the same type of behavior. That behavior is very bad. And if you're going to follow what your friend did before and you want to bring it again, come. 2026, they're going to say, okay, now I think we're tired. They have also done the same. You understand? There is a freedom nowadays. People are moving freely. People are going in markets freely. People can move just like that. They even put on other party barriers. Before, it wasn't there. But let the UPND maintain and show maturity. If even they are immature, these other guys, I won't mention names, but if they're immature, why should you also be immature? Don't just pay attention to someone. I mean, even when you're moving on, someone is insulting, you don't respond to them. Who's going to look like a fool between the two of you? The person who's insulting is not responding, or he has left. You understand? So that is one thing that the UPND youths have to look at. There is the government, there is them, there is this. So how are we going to move from there? So we have to move and understand to say, from here we're going this side, from here we're going this side, from here we've got this, from here we've got this. We are looking at how best are we going to develop the country. Let's talk about real developmental issues. Earlier on, I told you I'm in Sioma, where the western part of Zambia. There's need for serious development. They need roads. They need things. Let's talk about those. Then we'll discuss. I can't be calling the president. I start talking about something personal to the president. No. Let me tell him about what's happening in Sioma. I'll tell him in Sioma, no, there's need of development. Sioma was declared a district in supposed to be somewhere in 2011. If I made a mistake, it was done together with Nalolo. Let's look at, okay, what do people of Nalolo want? What do people of Sioma want? What do people of Ubi want? What do people of this of Chama want? Let us be realistic when we are debating. Our role is to look at the issue that has to do with developing the country. Let us stop being bitter. Let us stop being insulting politics never benefit anything. They can report you in wherever place. You go there, then you come out. But let's talk about serious issues that are affecting the people. Being personal, how are you going to help a simple layman, someone who's somewhere kumachani, someone who's somewhere in the rural areas in someone's in Shango? I said earlier on, I came here because we're giving out scholarships to students. Okay, so that's the reason. That's where development starts from. Let's talk about how are you going to enhance the issue that has to do with the student loans. Let's talk about how is the government going to incorporate working with private universities in giving scholarships to the students. How is the government going to come in helping different person, just like you have said, free education? We know at higher education, at a higher level, we can't offer free education because there's a lot needed. How are you going to move from there going to the next one? But the problem is to say the same politics that when Chufiateri used to do in 2018 is the same one they're bringing now. The same politics that was being done in the in the 2005 is someone being done right now. There is someone outside there with good results. Who needs to go to school? How are we going to let us utilize this political opportunities that we have to talk serious issues affecting the people? We can't have people talking about being personal with the president. That is being immature. Let the youths also forget one thing. Let them move away from the issues to do with the way the PF lived. If the PF misbehaved, move away from there. Show maturity. You are the matured one right now. That's why the people entrusted you with power.
All right. Thank you so much, Vincent. We do appreciate. And the point to take home is that law must not be taken in our hands. We are a state governed by the law, and let the law take its lead. Mob justice is no justice at all. This is the point to take home. All right, ladies and gentlemen, once more, we welcome you to the show. Just in case you are just joining us, this is a Point of View, a show that is tailor-made to look at the headlines of the week and stories of the week, and you get to express yourself. You give us your point of view as regards what has been trending in the week. And tonight, we are hosting the show as usual, myself, Chaza, and Lance, and our analyst or guest is Vincent Hamalwa. We greatly appreciate your time as you are listening to the show. For now, we proceed to the next item of as regards news, and on the other side, we continue with the analysis. Let's have the next news item.
We can behave the way we are behaving with the opposition, the PF. We can behave such a way. Maybe we agree that I start by tomorrow. Let's agree. I'm telling now the opposition, when you're going to appear that I'm coming to court also with my team now. This I want to assure you now, so that you see that what we are doing was wrong. I'm telling you as a national news channel, I'll behave the way you're behaving also, together with our team. We see now who is the champion. And I've told many times, I'm sorry I'm using this language, police never defended the UPND. That's a fact. We won this election, we the youths were forefront. You Nakachinda and your team were sending those people to us, beating us, even killing us. You know that with your team. I'll send the youths now.
Bad habits of the past will not be tolerated by this government.
Minister of Home Affairs and Internal Security Jack Mwimbu banned the undesignated setting up of roadblocks by the police to curtail corruption among police officers. Despite this move, complaints of extortion from some police officers by motorists have continued. This Lusaka-based motorist, Richard Pidi, has cried foul over the continued trend of some police officers collecting money in the name of checkpoints. Mr. Piri says despite producing all his necessary documents on the material day of the incident, the named police officer still demanded for money from him.
Uja polisi anakwera mmotoka nonuuza vero iwe license iliputi namupasa ma details yanga ya regi, but anatenga ma details ya regi aiona kuti license nilinayo avomera matumizana na muzaka awe uyu muntu ndachita confirm license alinayo munzake nomuza ati siunga basiye so chapa paka bakupase ko something, but vija tunamvera kuti vinasira vija ngati muntu achita confirm nishimwaziwa noziwa TV muntu yali confirm this drive. Even today license nilinayo pa yamene nenze ninayo license ni
He has since called on government to ensure that police officers, especially those operating in Kanyama, are disciplined before the name of the government is tainted.
anachipoka ndrama ondati mairigo yacho vanaresa tivuni konkara monga vantu vamene chimasukeko kadharizmu inasira vichabva mairigo rekani yabwerera muri vapolisi vabvichitira.
Okay, that's an outcry coming from one of the motorists there. And probably even others in the background were in agreement with him that despite a warning that was done by the new government, even through the Minister of Lance, welcome back.
Thank you, man. Today, internet has made me dance.
Oh, yes, it's really been a challenge. So despite those warnings that, extortion, corruption on the road, intimidation by the police, intimidating the motorists so that they can get, some money from them, it appears to have perpetually continued. And motorists are there, lamenting terribly, and they are saying, we do not want this to continue. Lance, I'll bring you in. Let me hear your viewpoint this time around on this issue of extortion, the police getting money from the people. There are times that, you may even be told that this offense, needs such an amount of a fine when in fact they are actually hiking, so that, in fear, you produce something less and they pocket it. Your viewpoint, Lance, before we bring in Vincent. Lance, are you there? It appears he's still struggling. Vincent, you can come in and tell us, what you feel about this issue as regards the motorists complaining about the behavior of some policemen on the road, and it was actually discouraged or banned that they need not, put up such roadblocks and, get money from the people in such a manner.
I think maybe just try to pop in. No, it's Zambia. We live in a world where we have to understand certain things. The police were allowed to do road patrols, and when you're doing road patrols, it's not like you're just moving, you're going. Okay, you move, you stop somewhere, and you have to check, because the reason you're doing road patrols, you have to check, is the car which is on the road fit to be on the road? Does the car on the road, or the driver driving the car, does he have all the particulars? I think we have had a lot of, issues that has to do with story to bring this one, accidents, especially on the Great North Road. We have got a lot of issues that have to do with that. And so what we are looking at is, we're looking at the fact to say, the police are doing their duty that they are allowed to do. Those are patrols. Roadblocks are different. You go on the road and they are specifically, they go put it from here. They put it's a designated area where they're doing a roadblock. Okay. Now we're talking about road patrols. Those are road patrols, and I think I have had a privilege to go along that road, and I've seen how those guys move. They move. Sometimes they start from as far as somewhere certain area there. They come again from fast as McKinneyville. They come around the road. They go. They are in the car throughout. They patrol all the roads. They are not specific in one road. They go different roads. And the reason they do that is they have to know to say, are these motor vehicles on the road fit to be on the road? Just because they give you an opportunity for you to operate, even when your car is found wanting, that doesn't mean that they're doing something illegal. That is pure illegal. They are doing patrols and they have to know to say all the cars. You know, I have been along Kanyama Road and I know how drivers behave. Here, if you're driving your own private car, you'll find a bus driver stands for road. What's the meaning of that? We are all busy as quite all right, but respect what? The road rules. So if a police officer is lenient on you, that doesn't mean that he's abrogating the law. No, he has that thing where he's feel, okay, quite all right. This person has made a mistake. There's an open to discussion. If the police officers are going to start enforcing the laws are supposed to be enforced, there's some people are going to start complaining. No, the police are not being fair. No, they are stealing from us. There's some people. The key part that we have to do right now is to understand the rule of law. Let the drivers respect. Let the drivers respect what is happening on the road. But if they don't do what do you expect the police to do? You know, when you go somewhere there, Chivolia area, Los Angeles police station there, you know there are about two roads that are connecting each other. One is coming from Namnunga area, the other one is coming from Chivola Basic, and they co-join there. Now, when he comes there, you find there will be a lot. This person doesn't want to give chance to another person. I think they just have that issue of it. If you want the police to stay away from the road, do what is right. The other day I was on the same road in a bus. I was going to town. The person who came to control traffic there had to take a soldier who moved from the other car to come on the road and start controlling traffic. I'm telling bus driver what they're supposed to do. The problem is to say these people, they abrogate the law, but at the end of the day, they want the other people to come on top there. And let me just say, they want the other people to like they want the freedom, but they can't utilize the freedom properly.
Okay, so
let
Vincent,
the police
the issue here is that yes, indeed, random checks are very important on the road, and like you earlier alluded, because of so many accidents, we really need the police on the road to even check on speed. If you are within the stipulated speed limit in a designated area. And also probably the issue of cameras on the roads. We need them because we have seen so many accidents that are taking place due to lack of the same. Now, the outcry of the motorists right now is that as these checks are being done, the police are actually, soliciting for bribes instead of the authentic charges and the fines being paid in the government coffers by the issuance of receipts. The police are not doing that. They are receiving money and they are not receipting for that money, meaning that this money is going into their pockets. And this is what is coming from the people.
No, generally, the person to be blamed is a person that is actually found on the other side of the law. I'll tell you one thing. People that have helped so much Zambians are police officers. Sometimes they wouldn't want to come in and try to go in a fine because they're looking at the situation that you're in. There's a time when I was moving with a car, then it had a lot of issues. You get it? Huh? The car was impounded, but when I discussed with them, they understand the situation I was in. They said, okay, quite all right. We have heard about this. Our role, we as being people that are looking after the law, we understand that this thing, and this can be compromised. Okay, the best that you can do is for you to go pay this amount of money. But the normal fine for this one is what? Is this? I'll tell you, I come from a background where most of the people around my life are police officers, and I know what they live in. If you don't know, police officers, especially at the traffic department, they have got what we call a daily target, and sometimes they'll come. That money which they get, they deposit it in the account, and it's not like something you're just trying to bring up, but just saying something is serious right now. They deposit in the account. They have got accounts where they deposit. Sometimes when you have found one thing,
Vincent, what you are saying is that despite not issuing a receipt, the police will deposit these monies in the government account.
Yes, you can do a receipt since if Kanyama police station is closed, you can go there and visit the traffic section and find out how does this money these people pay. You know, if you're not satisfied with what they're doing, you say to say, quite all right, if I'm found wanting, give me a what? Give me the charge sheet. There's also a charge sheet. Give me a charge sheet. You get that charge sheet, you go deposit the money in through the offense that you have done. You deposit that money. If you think the police are stealing from, you can pay that from them. Get a charge sheet, they're going to give you the account number, you're going to deposit that account. You go back to the police station with a receipt, you put it that side. That is how it moves. You know, it's just that most of us don't understand the traffic rules. A traffic rule, like when I'm moving from this area to go to the next area, there's this which is supposed to be done. There's a time I was moving from Lusaka going to Central Province, and I was stopped by a checkpoint. Sadly enough, the car I was with never had certain issues, certain things. I mean, the reflectors. I was stopped. And the police asked to say, no, I have to pay for that. And I told them, no, I'm not going to pay for this. As much as I'm aware there's this rule is supposed to come in. I don't have money right now. Give me a charge sheet. Give me a charge sheet. Where I deposit the money on? In the account. So that's how it goes. If you are found wanting on the other side, they may not really ask for money from you. Sometimes they may be lenient on you. Because if they give you a charge sheet, you may discover the other Mlando that you have done. They have associated that since this Mlando, they don't have to do with something is okay, just pay this amount of money, then what? Then go. But if they're going to be saying, okay, quite all right, give me this charge sheet, do this and do that. At the end, we are the same people going to be complaining. But they try to help you because you get out of that situation. So in this scenario, there are people and there are police officers. If police officers are going to enforce the law to its full marks, you understand? To its full marks, the same people that are complaining right now, they'll be complaining more. They are there to help you. They are there to guide you, and just work with them properly.
Vincent, sorry, I'll cut you short. We have to proceed to the next story, but the point that we are taking home on this particular story is that in an event that you are caught by the police on the road and they've asked for a payment, you must ask for a receipt or a charge sheet for you to actually go and deposit the money later on, because money received without a receipt, there's no accountability, and there's a high possibility that it may go in the police officers' pockets. For now, let's go straight to another story. And probably before the story, Mr. Producer, I'd like you to actually bring in our commercials. Then after our commercials, we get to the next story, and on the other side, we get to continue with the analysis. The people that would like to join in, you are very much welcome to click on the link, and you can also send us those messages. Then you express yourself as regards the issues that we are looking at. Let's get to break for a commercial. See you on the other side.
Ubuntu means humbleness. Ubuntu means humility. Ubuntu means love.
Ubuntu chitemiko. Ubuntu mutende.
Ubuntu nikukhala pamoja. Ubuntu nikusamala. Ubuntu nikukondana.
To inform you that government has with immediate effect approved recommendations of the board to increase monthly payments from the 150 kwacha minimum per month to 400 kwacha minimum per month, representing the increase or an increase of 363%. This increment affects all pensions in a payment as at 31st of March 2020. So there will be some arrears therein. The revision of the benefits is in line with the Section 86 of the Workers' Compensation Act number 10 of 1999 of the laws of Zambia, which permits the board to increase amounts payable under the fund to compensate for the increase in the cost of living in consultation with an actuary. This decision was made following professional advice through an actuarial valuation of the Workers' Compensation Fund in accordance with the standard actuarial principles, which indicated that the Workers' Compensation Fund has now a healthy funding level of 325%, with a value of assets standing at 2.4 billion kwacha against liabilities of 734 million kwacha. Members of the press, Chairperson, Board of Directors, you are expected to maintain a steady increase of the benefits, that is to the Chairperson and the Board. You are expected to maintain a steady increase of the benefits to adequate and acceptable levels by remodeling the investment strategies to respond to the contemporary investment environment so as to optimize and maximize returns in line with the UPND manifesto and His Excellency the President's directive during the 2020.
Okay, welcome back. And the story at hand is actually talking about the workers' compensation contributions that have been increased from 150 kwacha per month as a bare minimum to 400 kwacha per month, an increase of 363%. This increase of the contributions vis-a-vis resulting in the increase in the benefits. What do we make of this ordeal? Lance, are you there? Lance is really having a challenge there. I will invite Vincent. What do we make of this ordeal?
I think it's a welcome move. As you're aware, worker composition is there to help, especially people that have found themselves in predicaments like accidents and several areas. And when you look at this time around our economy, it requires us. We live on 8,500 budget per month. So, bringing it at 400, it helps quite all right. If someone has been injured, is going through medical attention, it is quite all right that 400 is topped up. It's a 100% welcome move. And I think the other thing that I can bring across is minimal. So, meaning maximum, they can go up to 2,000, which I feel it's quite all right, good for the community and for the people. And it's also encouraging a lot of people to join our compensation fund, where at least you have something at the end of the day. You don't know what is coming tomorrow. You don't know what may happen. I think it's just on this one, the only thing I can do is to advise the people to say, let's all register for worker compensation, so that either tomorrow you find yourself in an accident, you are able to be covered by compensation. And all companies take any interest. It's a welcome move. It's a very good move, especially to the people, a layman and a simple person. Let me say a civil servant or another person. It's actually a welcome move. For me, I feel it has been long overdue. So since it has come like that, it's very easy. So let's all join worker compensation, so that in case of any accidents, we are there and we are covered by workers' compensation. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much. I remember there was a time I met one of the directors from Workers' Compensation, and he told me it's not every institution or everyone that contributes to Workers' Compensation. I feel there's a bit of the technical aspect that is required. And just here on Ubuntu, I think we'll find time to invite Workers' Compensation to come and clarify issues as regards contributions, benefits, and who is supposed to contribute and who can be a beneficiary as regards workers' compensation. Lance, are you there? Okay, I was just checking on our colleague, my co-host there, who is having a technical challenge, if he was there. We'll be winding down pretty soon. Quickly, let us get to have the next item. I would like you, the producer, to play them consecutively, because I believe that there are about 3 bites that we need to look at. Please play them consecutively. Then we shall get to analyze them together, and we get to conclude, because time is not our best ally.
Annually, Zambia's presidents pardon inmates to celebrate African Freedom Day that falls on 25th May and is celebrated in many African countries. Zambia's correctional facilities currently have over 25,000 inmates against 9,150 holding capacity that entails overcrowding, and to this effect, the president has pardoned over 2,000 inmates, most of whom are male.
2,045 inmates. The pardoned inmates include 1,969 ordinary inmates, 33 old-aged, 8 foreign nationals, 14 recommended for unconditional pardon, and 21 who were detained during His Excellency's pleasure. So these were detained at the President's pleasure, the last 21. The President has also commuted sentences for 607 inmates to various terms of imprisonment from different correctional centers across the country.
The acting Minister of Home Affairs is hopeful that ward development committees use part of CDF to improve the state of correctional facilities.
For guarantee adequate funding to all institutions mandated to provide security, ensure safety and dispense justice so that they can operate automatically, efficiently and effectively at all times.
Other ways to reduce overcrowding in correctional facilities cited are to modernize operations of the judiciary to speed up dispensation of justice. He says the president, who experienced life in incarceration, wants a better diet as well as nutrition to be addressed through increased funding to Zambia Correctional Services.
7. Ensure strict adherence to the rule of law and end selective application of law to restore faith in the country's critical national institutions of governance.
He says the construction of open-air correctional farms will expand agriculture production to mitigate overcrowding and improve food production. The president's pardon is cited in the Constitution, Article number 97, that provides for presidential pardon and substitution of severe punishments imposed on convicted persons.
These are Livingstone's only traffic lights on the Musotunya Highway, which have developed a persistent electrical fault, causing them to be on and off for days. Last week, these lights were not functioning, reasons which the local authority attributed to power outages, but this time around, since Sunday, 22nd May, they have been off till date. The dangers of not having properly functioning traffic lights are that motorists and pedestrians may be involved in an accident as there will be no control on the road. Here are some of the complaints by some Livingstone residents spoken to at the scene.
Papa mapita abantu and then vana ba school so ipezeka kuti maroboti ayaka yazima so ipezeka kuti it's so inconveniencing because you know, even there's a lot of traffic jam because of the same.
It was a day full of dust driving to Ntumpa University site in Kasama's Lokasha constituency. This is the place where Ntumpa University was supposed to be constructed. The university was supposed to be constructed alongside FTJ University in Mansa. What can only be seen around the site is grass and a hidden foundation in the grass. The AVAP Northern Province Coordinator Amos Chileshe and senior citizen recall the pronouncement made by the previous regime when it released the $112 million towards the construction of the university.
We are certain that for the contractor to set up a camp like this, it means money was released to the construction of the university, which is non-existent. So as I'm talking right now, my fellow Zambians are crying. Our hearts are broken because we cannot allow a situation where taxpayers' money is wasted like this.
Honorable Brand Mundubile, Northern Province Minister, Bale Isakuredio Mano. And when he is being questioned by Mr. Simon Chiti, by Minister Bale Twebokutila, by Chiti and the entire Kasama residents, ama projects you say there are on course.
All right, we can make a conclusion as regards the stories by looking at the three stories that we are from viewing. The first one concerns the presidential pardon, pardoning of inmates of about 2,045. Harry, good evening. Welcome to the show.
Well, good evening to you. So, like I said, I'm in a noisy place. If you give me just 2 minutes for me to walk out, and then I can come back.
Okay, no problem. Not a problem.
All right.
Okay, so after the presidential pardon story, we actually went on to checking out a story from Livingston that is talking about traffic lights. Traffic lights that have been malfunctioning or not functioning for more than a week. And there's an outcry that, such a busy road and having traffic lights not working is a danger as the roads are prone to accidents. And the last one that we looked at is a story concerning the non-existent Ntumpa University. After funding was done and finances were released for the construction of a university, but up to now as we speak, there's only a bush. Vincent, come in. What's your viewpoint regarding, these three respective stories?
Okay, I think I'll comment on two, and when Harry comes, can comment on the other one. I'll comment on the one for traffic lights. I'll also comment on the one for the university. I think let me start with the one for the university. I think for starters, let us look at these issues critically. It doesn't be jockey fun playing around. We're talking about taxpayers' money. We're talking about money is going to the people. Sorry, I'll draw you a bit. I was in Nalolo about a month ago. There is a project, a teacher's house project, which was labeled as finished, when basically it did not even reach, it just reached window level, then they abandoned it. And the money was released, was paid to the contractor, and they abandoned that project. I think it's high time that we take these contractors to task. If money was paid and they moved out of sight, let them face the law. Okay, let them face the law. There's no need for us, there's no need of argument. We're talking about people's money right now. We had FTJ Chiluba's university, FTJ Chiluba in Wapula. We have got this one in Northern Tumpa in Northern Province. The projects seem like to be dormant, but they were started. Let the contractor explain. Let the Ministry of Finance, the owners, or the one that keep the call, the one that release the monies, the one that does everything in the coffers, was this money released to those people? If it was released, let the Ministry of Finance, let them meet up that, let them try to recover that money, because you can't pay to someone then someone disappears. What's the meaning of that? People work so hard so that these places are developed. But if you are going to entertain contractors that abandon works, there's one thing that has to do when you're a contractor. Let me just bring this one to you. The government has to understand, are you capable of doing this project? And they'll pay you maybe 25% at first. As you move, they pay in phases. So I don't know if this money was paid in full cash, or if the first one was paid. Where was it supposed to reach? And when it reached there, what did the contractor do? Did they leave that or what? Let us be serious with what we're doing. The country needs development. And if we're going to behave like the way we're behaving, they're not helping anybody. We're misbehaving. In short, this is misbehaving. Let me use that word. It's misbehaving. If you're given an opportunity to say, okay, fine, you have to build an environment, you have to build an infrastructure for the people, then you decide to abandon that because the government hasn't given you money. No, that is what we call pure misbehavior. If you can't manage to be a contractor, why don't you let people that have got capacity of building those areas do it? Recovery of resources. We recover resources quite all right. But if they're not properly used, then what is the meaning of aim of us for recovering those resources? Secondly, the other issue is at hand is the issue that has to do with, let me talk about the issue that has to do with council. Those are the people in charge of, traffic lights. Okay, and if they are not doing they're not working to full capacity, then why do we have those electricians in those areas? Let us look for people that are serious. Why should a big city like Livingston have traffic lights which are malfunctioning? What about if something bad happens? Then where are we going? I think that's what we are.
Vincent, I can barely hear you. I'm not sure what could have happened. I cannot hear you. Maybe the mic went mute or something like that. Okay, and Mr. Producer, as we wind down, kindly, if there's any message or there's anyone who would like to join us as we conclude, you may kindly bring them on. It's been a great show, and time is ahead of us. The president pardoned 2,045 inmates, and these ones were actually due to various reasons, some of them 21 at the pleasure of His Excellence there. Okay, Mulungu Ruben Jerome is actually saying, I agree with the analyst. UPND youths should not go the PF way of conducting politics. Thank you so much, Jeremy, for coming through. We greatly appreciate for that message. All right, if there are other messages, please bring them on. Okay, and amongst those that we pardoned, the inmates, 1,969 were ordinary inmates there. 33 of them were the aged, and 8 of them foreigners. 14 of them were pardoned based on recommendations for the pardon. Okay, it appears we do not have messages, and we do not have anyone that would like to join us live right here, and we have to conclude. It's been a great show. Unfortunately, my co-host has had a challenge as regards connectivity. Internet connections have been a challenge, and tonight we've been with our analyst Vincent, who's been doing a great show right here, analyzing the stories that we were looking at. It's been a great time, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for the time that you have spared joining us on Point of View as we were looking at stories and news headlines of the week. I believe that Lance will be joining us next week. It's been a great time. Thank you so much. Till next time, every Saturday at 9 p.m. we have our show, Point of View. Join us if you can next time. For now, peace. God bless. We are out of here.